today we're going to be trying to get through a tough match against Black Leopards in the Knockout Cup, who I suspect are the toughest team in the league. They're currently sitting in 5th place, so it's misleading, but they also have something like 3 or 4 games in hand, so they're fairly well rested and have clearly been getting the most points possible out of what they have played. And then we'll follow it up with a difficult Team Canada match against Ecuador. So today's going to be a challenging day to actually get wins. Fortunately, the Ecuador match is a friendly, so I'm more interested in developing young talent than in actually winning that match. But the Black Leopards match is going to be both difficult and important. It's early in the Knockout Cup, so my big hope is that Black Leopards do not care and don't send their top players, because it would be really nice if I can just show up and steamroll them. I'm going to try to bring a pretty strong team here. We've finally had enough downtime for my main players that I can get them back into the side, so we should have a better team on the pitch than we've had in the last couple of matches. But I'm not sure it'll be enough, just given that Black Leopards seem to be so good. This doesn't look awful. It's still not quite what I'd want. We're having problems with our midfielders just because of injuries, and I think it's just injuries right now. But Sinaga's not as good as we'd like on defense. Lacala is bad. Tao's pretty bad as a central midfielder, and that's the big issue, that I really don't like playing him there. But I don't have anyone better available. Fountain's fantastic at least, so hopefully that'll counteract it. But then we've got Atladisa pretty bad here, and Long pretty bad here. So both of our wings look rough too. I'm hoping that someone comes to fitness in the next 2 or 3 days and we can pop them in for the match. We have the edge, but it's only a slight one. And that's assuming that we have a good side, which we're better, but we're still not fielding the side I'd like to. Not sending anyone to the under 19s. Black Leopards did just draw a 10-man Orlando Pirates, who the last time I looked at the league table were the worst team in the entire league. So there's some hope in that maybe their good run of form is coming to an end. 4 to 5 attackers. We have 2. See if I can make this work. I think that's the best I can do for it. I don't love having Atladisa set to attacking. Might change that back, but we'll at least train for it and see if I can get him a little more comfortable. The first tick down from fully green to just mostly green doesn't tend to make a lot of difference in their comfort level. It's only when you dip below that you really start seeing it. Oh, this is discouraging. We just lost Alfonso Davis. It's just friendly, so it's not devastating. But I really don't like not having him. He's one of the few stars I was bringing on this camp with the expectation of hopefully guiding the youngsters. It's going to make developing the youth even more important for this match. Where are you having a bad time, Sammy? You actually got on the pitch lately. And I think we won the game you were in. Let them take whoever they want for reserves team. That'll be after the match into the international break, so it'll just keep people active. They won't play them if they're too tired, and keeps people in match form. Although most of my top players are probably going to be away playing international football anyway. We're finally getting good health reports. Like, the only person that needed to take a fitness test was Shobeni, and he passed it comfortably. He should be good for the entire game. Strong winds that could disrupt Black Leopards. Okay pitch, because it's us and we know our pitch is terrible. But look at that form Black Leopards are on. That's going to be tough. Make sure there's no changes here. Sport. I did manage to get Tao back up where I want him playing, so that's good to see. Had to turn off a lot of the attacking players, though. We just don't have the right people. It's going to have to go through support more, but this looks pretty good. Matia's a little below average. Snaga's a little below what we'd like. Lakella is bad, as we know. Saketlong's not great, but we're down to just one two-star winger. Matenchwa is still not quite at the level I'd like, but it's better than having a two-star on both wings. This is a team we can potentially score with. I think it's going to have to be an ugly match that we grind out like one goal. It's pretty important we get through here. This is a tournament the board actually cares about. And if I get knocked out this early, we're going to be in real trouble with our expected mediocre performance in the league. This is actually where the board placed their priorities. They're okay with me getting a mid-table result in the board or in the league, but they want me to win this tournament or at least get to the finals. And I don't think they'll be too understanding of me having a tough draw. We can see how much fresher Black Leopards are already just by the ease with which they're moving the ball. And that was a dangerous strike. Midlovu seems to be hitting a bit of a slump lately. He's still been defending well, but he hasn't been grabbing absolutely everything the way he usually does. Well, good play from Saketlong there, although he immediately got taken down by Guala. Kizzy scores his 11th of the season, assisted by Domini. Nothing we could have done about that. That was a brilliant counter from them. Puts us on the back foot, but it's early enough. I'm not super worried. It's the problem where we haven't been able to get our starting 11 on the pitch for a while with the schedule. People are not fully comfortable with each other the way they would be with our regular starters. And also, we are just getting soundly outplayed right now. Hopefully, shutting McKasey down will help things out. We are getting throw-ins in good positions, but we're not getting into the box. We are shooting from way too far out. And they're just going fully Route 1 and it's working. Where we're trying to carefully pass the ball up the pitch, they're just lob it over everyone and hopefully take advantage of the fact that they are faster than us. Tried to shut down Fiwa. They're exhausted, so they probably don't want to win the match. They just want to be done and into the break so they can recover. This is what I was worried about with this game because sure we were able to get a lot more of the starters on the pitch than we have the last couple of matches, but everyone is still really tired. And they seem to have found a style we can't defend against really, because like when they get the ball down and they're trying the short passes, we're doing a good job of shutting them down and forcing them to the outside, but it's those long, accurate passes from the back that we just don't have an answer to. And I don't like how all our attacks seem to be going through Matenjwa, even though we have it set up so that he's the supporting wing to Saketlong, who's supposed to be our attacker. hopefully we can make something happen with a personnel change here. That was almost a good strike. Surprisingly, McQuaquina is the only one having a bad game. So we're going to take him off for Ward. This could be a problem. I'm not sure that Ward is exactly the guy we need out there right now. He's below the average of the team, but McQuaquina was having such a bad game that hopefully Ward can shake things up. Fountain's getting exhausted. He's one of our better players out there, but I don't think I can justify leaving him out to take Tau off. So we're going to put Nick Sellier in his place. Probably better keep him on support. 2 stars is not what I want in exchange for Fountain, but I don't. I have a lot of people that can play that spot poorly, and Fountain's the only one that excels at it. Now we're going to take Tau off for being the worst player still out there. So we'll put Johnson in for him. What world is analysis notes coming in? Oh, they wanted Sefema to come off right after I made my change. Well, he's stuck there now. Johnson's not awful in that role. He's about as good as Tau is. And he's fresh, so that might be enough. He can go a little more attacking, which also might help. And that was offside. I thought Matengwa had equalized for us, but he was just barely offside too. We really need to get one in here. And Johnson was never on target with that. Oh, that would have been a beautiful strike. The team's showing more heart in the second half, but we're just not able to do enough to get through. probably our last chance. It was. They didn't even bother letting me go. So that was a pretty devastating loss. The ref had the game of his life. That's good at least. Tao made his 125th career appearance. This could be the beginning of the end for me. Because this was an important tournament to the board. And this was absolutely a match that we should have been able to win. The board's not calling me in to yell at me anyway, so they're disappointed, but they do understand it. They took that better than I expected. So we're gonna have to get some results in the Premiership soon to keep our position. Uh, that scared me for a second. I thought the board were calling me in to threaten me, but we're gonna have to get some results in the Premiership to keep our roll. But we're not at the end of the run yet. He's worried about his work permit and the fact that we're not. Wow, he took that way better than I thought. I figured he was going to get real mad because I'm like, I can't play him as much as he deserves, but I don't have the depth to just trade him, sell him, or loan him out. I need to hang on to him for when. I mean, we've been playing him a couple times a month, probably enough to actually land his work permit, to be honest. Canadian under 20s made a group with Haiti and Costa Rica. That'll be kind of tough. Costa Rica are about the same level as them. That could go either way. Haiti are pretty much a non-issue. Yeah, we didn't really get much in the way of good performances in that game. The only person who played well was Nidlavu and Mattia. Everyone else was mediocre to bad. It's one of those times when I wish I had like 14 subs so I could have just switched out the entire team. Even people with less skill on the pitch might have played better. This is a godsend though. This should allow the team to recover and actually put me in a position where I can name the first team again. Tell them to give me selection problems. Everyone like that. Don't love having to put Kemp in at wingback, but that's what happens with losing Davies at the last minute. I didn't draft much in the way of backup for him because I figured I'd play him. I mean, Kemp's comfortable in the position at least, and he's not bad. Harbour's below the level. Actually, Kemp is pretty bad. I was looking at Bonifacio. But yeah, Kemp's the worst player on the team, and the role they're being called upon, which is below average. Mujkic isn't great either. So it's really just this L shape right here where we've got some problems that we still need to shore up. And I think a lot of the issue is just that Canada isn't developing people in those positions that are any good. If this continues long term, I might have to change the formation I'm using. But so far, we're still getting good enough. Yeah, here we go. We can see how battered the team was with people needing rests. We're definitely going to give all these rests. It's more important to get people back in playing shape than to worry about training. As important as training is, if they're all exhausted, they're not going to play well whether they've trained or not. And it's going to lead to more like results like that one with Black Leopards. And we're coming up to the point where we can't afford that. We just are running out of chances. Because right now I'm riding on the goodwill from winning the league last year. And that's not going to last forever. Okay, they want me to only play David and Mujkic for 45 minutes. I should be able to do that. Like I said, I'm not super concerned about winning this. They're predicting a hot match, but those weather reports are pretty unreliable for actually telling what the game's going to be like. There's no way they're going to sell Dlamini back to me. They bought him off me like a year ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, there we go. That went about as well as I thought. 32 degrees, it is as hot as they predicted. That's rough. We've been just getting battered by these hot matches. Ecuador are on a terrible run of form, so we might be able to take advantage of that. And it's a very good pitch. How's Carlos Cabrera rated in this? Awful. That's good to see. So we have a terrible referee for this match too. So this one's going to get interesting. Making no changes to the squad for it. I think this is as good as we're going to get. I just need to remember to take David and Mujkic off at the half. It's a friendly, so there's no point in me being hostile towards club coaches, especially where they probably have issue with me about the amount of times I've broken David already. No foul there. I'm not sure I can read much into that. Kind of read like a foul to me, but can't see the arms and legs, so it's hard to tell what actually happened. And this referee is terrible, so the fact that a foul wasn't called doesn't mean that there wasn't one. This guy probably shouldn't be reffing national teams even in a friendly, but we'll see how he does. Sometimes bad ratings don't mean much. That was a dangerous strike. nice if some of these highlights weren't Ecuador. But we kind of knew we were probably going to get played out of the park by them between their being acclimatized to the weather and just being a better team than us, even with their poor run of form. This was always going to be a tough win. And then we lost one of our star players. I'm planning on playing the kids. I'm going to take the other star player off at the half. I think I'm going to have to come to terms with a lot of Ecuador highlights. That's okay. This is a game we're coming into with the goal of just not being embarrassed. We've got, I think it's Curacao coming up next. That'll be a bounce back game where we can get the guys some good momentum going into the back to their clubs. That'll be nice. This one is a crucible by fire for the youngsters. We're not playing very well though either. Like Ecuador isn't either. They have one guy that's doing well, but we have zero. So would like to see them up their game a bit. I'm probably going to yell at them at the half. Sure, we haven't conceded, but no one's done anything to impress me either. Told them that this camp they were supposed to make selection tough as Plata scores on us, assisted by Pimentel. But I told them they were supposed to make selection difficult for me. But I didn't mean it like this. They're supposed to make it difficult for me by looking good, not by stinking the joint out. Nice run from the Ecuadorian there. It's one of those times where it almost feels weird giving an assist because that wasn't really an assisted move. He got that entirely on his own. Change up our marking a bit. I don't mind us getting beat though. Like, this wasn't a game I was in to try to win. This is an experience match. If we can close this out at 1-0 or even 2-0, I'm not going to feel awful. If it goes over 3 for Ecuador, I'm going to be bothered unless we get a bunch too. Like, I'm talking goal differential, not absolute goals. If they get 3 or more, I'm going to be upset with the team because that means that they were really not trying. But getting beat by a better team at home, 1-0 or 2-0 when I'm playing a lot of the youngsters, it's fine. So before I end the team talk, to remind myself it's Mujkic and David I need to take off immediately. So tactics, not tactics, field subs. Mujkic is here. He can come off for Arja, and then David can come off for Tabla. Yeah, we're not going to get any goals. I'm putting Tabla in as a striker. We're getting outplayed with John David on the pitch. We're not going to do better with Tabla. He's a good player, but he's nowhere near a striker. He's like a defensive midfielder. Barsha's alright, a little below average. Tabla is just actually not good as a striker like you look, where he actually wants to be. He's a winger, or like still a winger, but he'd rather be playing where Bonifacio is and defensively there. I don't think he ever plays striker for his club. And then Arja, I'm just getting another cap. I want to keep developing him because he's gonna be. He's decent now, and he's going to be one of the future players. Jesifov got a yellow, so I have to consider subbing him off. This ref has been pretty restrained on giving the cards. Usually when you get a bad referee, they give a lot of cards. Amrani's in a nice position to get a shot on goal. Couldn't beat the goaltender, but that was our best chance so far. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was our only chance so far. Things are not going great when I've got Owusu taking corners. Kemp's looking tentative there. Bonifacio got a yellow. Let's see how people are doing. Jusifov's just having a bad game, as is Brogular. We'll get rid of Jusifov for now. Give Chaka Mello start play. I'm going to leave Brogular out there because I'm probably going to not have him for the next match just because of fatigue either way. So I want to see if he can turn it around. Let's see if I can get Mello. Mello's going to look awful no matter what. He's not really a center back. Where are you come from? Yeah, okay, he's a right wing back, or right fullback. Very bad in his role, but getting him a cap. I think this will be his first cap. I know I brought him on into recording match that I lost, but so I think this will be his first official cap. Let's see here now. It's time to get Broguillard off. He's not improving his play, and people around him are starting to get drugged down. So we'll let Hatrell go in for him. I'm going to have to shuffle things around a bit to get Hatrell into a position that he can actually play in. But he can swing in for Mello and put Mello out there. This looks much nicer. Mello's slightly below what we'd like still, but much better. Hatrell's pretty bad, but still better than Mello was in that role. So we didn't concede through the time. We just had Mello there. Now we're looking all right again. Kemp gets a yellow. That's not fantastic. Oh, and it got a penalty. I said I would be okay with losing by 2. So we're not awful here. Emrani in a nice position for a potential breakaway. to Owusu. And he went straight to the goaltender. Normally he can finish better than that. I'm not sure what that was. Might be distracted because he's hot. Let's see who's left. Oh, now Kemp is sucking, so he's our last sub. We'll put Diaz on for him. He's pretty bad, but he's only going to get better if I let him play. So we'll deal with that. $10 in an international match might be just what he needs to actually start improving. We're rolling in the yellow cards now. I'm not sure what... Oh, Nelson's getting red carded, isn't he? Yep. Red carded in a friendly. That's not good. Let's see if I can spread us out a bit. Alright, yeah. Will you move over? Can't play outside at all. I'm just going to have to deal with it. He's going to have to stay here. We're just going to have to hope they can't break through there for the next 6 minutes. I might be able to appeal that because we know this referee isn't very good. So if he had a bad game, I might be able to appeal that red card. And if not, at least it's a friendly so Nelson isn't suspended. And I probably wasn't going to play him against Curacao anyway because he's likely going to be still tired. I might bring him off the bench, but I don't expect him to start. Although that might be different with Davies being out injured. I might need Nelson in there just to give me someone competent on that side of the pitch. So I might have to just deal with him being tired. Jesus, that Plata is fast. And that is the match. It went pretty much the way everyone expected. I'm not super disappointed. I was playing a lot of inexperienced players. Cabrera had a horrible match refereeing. Not really shocked, given that he's not really a good referee at all. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know how the hell he landed refereeing this match. We got Diaz a debut for Canada at least. So that's good. We're slowly developing the next generation. Under all the circumstances we were under, they did do well. Like, I'm not upset with the team I brought. I never expected to win that game. And I said from the start, I'm happy as long as we don't get blown out. We didn't get blown out. We conceded 1 goal a half against a very good team. No surprise that Plata was the player of the match. So yeah, nothing really interesting to report there. We'll check the schedule for what we have next time. We've got our match against Curacao, and then we're jumping back over to Amazulu. And we've got Stellenbosch, I actually need to start paying attention to league rankings, is not very impressive. So this should be next episode should be an opportunity for us to turn the corner. We've had a couple of disappointments lately, but that should be a chance for us to get back on track. The board is shockingly not upset with me. So, we're still on track towards a modestly successful season. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that despite us not getting the results we may have wanted. And hopefully you'll join us again next time. Have a good day.